Hi everyone, today we are going to be reviewing a astronomically over the moon, ridiculously priced eyeshadow palette. Natasha Denona, I Need a Nude. This is $69. This is a $70 eyeshadow palette. That is like a few days of groceries. That is absolutely atrocious, first of all, to eyeshadow be $70. Let's open it. Let's get into it. So first of all, the one thing that like really, before we even get into the shadows, the thing that pisses me off about this eyeshadow palette, it's plastic. It is plastic. This is $70 for plastic. That is ridiculous, especially considering that most of what you're paying for when you buy cosmetics is the packaging. So spending $70 on like this doesn't feel or sound or look like expensive plastic. So that just really ticked me off right off the bat. And then it also came, there's like a kind of like a clear plastic on top. And I thought there were like smudges on it and I tried to wipe them away off. But there's like makeup underneath it, like someone had like eyeshadow on their gloves and like was touching the back or something and then put it on. It's just so disappointing to see for $70. Like that's so upsetting. So just right off the bat, like I wasn't impressed with the packaging itself. It's just, it does have a mirror in it. It's a nice mirror. I know for a fact that when doing cosmetics packaging, a mirror is not $70. I know for a fact a mirror is not $50. I know that a mirror is not $30, okay? It's a nice mirror. It's a big mirror. It's not a $70 mirror. And mine, I don't know. I posted a TikTok yesterday and I asked some people about this. I'll probably ask again. If anyone has a Natasha Denona palette, does yours smell like a public pool? Because mine smells like chlorine, like smelling like the actual like shadows, like it smells like chlorine and I don't understand why. And I bought this in store at an Ulta, so it's not fake. I know that it's not like a knockoff, but it smells funky. I had one person tell me, no, I have a lot of Natasha Denona shadows. None of them smell like that. I don't know why it smells like that. So that's kind of the packaging. The packaging I'm not impressed with at all. You can depot them. Each shadow has like a little hole underneath that you can like stick a needle through or something and depot all of the shadows. That's nice if you have like a Z palette or like you're a professional makeup artist and you just want to depot them out of the palette. There was a protector on the mirror. There was not a protector over the shadows when I bought it. Again, I don't know if that's just standard for Natasha Denona to not have that, but mine did not. That's about it for packaging. I'm not super impressed with the packaging. For $70. I want it to feel like I'm paying $70. This feels like I'm paying $25 maximum, which is so disappointing. But then let's get into the shadows. These are the shadows. They're super beautiful. They're nude to cool tone. They're nude, neutral, cool tone shadows. The shimmers are shimmering. The mattes are matte. You can see I've used a couple of them. In my look yesterday, I used, just like these three across the bottom right here. I used those in a look yesterday and the look came out really well. They did blend very nice, but like, I don't know, not to the point that I was like overly impressed, but we'll do a little bit more today. We'll see how it is. I'm gonna insert swatches of the palette right now. So we have the shades Stone, Whisper, Ella, Vague, Travertine, Delilah, Silhouette, Muse, Fair, Filigree, Wit, Sheen, Tender, Mesh, and Mia. There are 7 mattes and 8 shimmers in the palette. There are 15 shades total. It's really, really pretty. I just don't know if I can justify $70. But we are going to do a look with it today, and we're going to see how well it performs on the eyes. One issue that I did have yesterday is when I was taking like my fluffy brush and I was dipping it into the shade Mesh right there. I haven't dipped into any of the other shades yet, so I don't know if this is a thing, but like it was taking a lot to just get product on my brush and not just like stamp it around the palette. But yeah, let's do like a cool toned pinky brown look today. So I'm gonna take the shade Stone right here on a big fluffy blending brush, and I'll see if this one does the same thing. Okay, no, so that one's actually picking up, if you can see that. That one's actually picking up the product, and there's not a lot of kickback with this shade. See right there, not a lot of kickback. All right, just gonna put that. And the only thing on my eyes is concealer and powder, so there's no other shadows on there. Just using a very light hand. I will say these blend very well. Even with like, if you have like mediocre brushes, these shadows do blend well, but also ColourPop shadows blend well. Like this, it's really, I'm using a very light hand, and it's just very lightly putting the shadow where I want it, just very lightly. The blend really is pretty seamless on these, which is a pro, I guess. It is a pro. That is a pro. There are a lot of eyeshadows that you'll like put it down and then you kind of have to work a lot to blend it out. So it'll be like, oh, there's too much. Oh, now I got to go in with this brush and that brush and try to like move the pigment around. Whereas these ones are very flexible to what you want. Actually, I'm going to zoom you in more to my eyes. I'm just going to build that up a little bit more. So you can see that it blends very well. So this is laying down a little bit more pink than it looks in the pan initially, but it is still very cool toned. It's definitely still gray. So that is how much kickback total is on the palette after using that shade. So not a lot at all. This shade had a ton. It had so much like kickback. This one, not so much. And then I really want to dip into this shade Vague right here. This kind of like browny pink. That's a good, yeah. Right here, I'm gonna dip into that. Kind of do the same place that I just put that Stone, but like keep it a little bit lower. Okay, so just off the bat, this color is taking a little bit more to blend than Stone did. Not by a whole lot, but it is just taking a little bit more of my time to blend it the way that I want it. But that's still blended very quickly and very nicely. You see? Okay, so both of those mattes blended very well, very quickly. I didn't feel like I was blending for longer than I had to, partially just because I wanted, I don't know, more blown out look, but you really don't need to blend these for as long as I even did, because they blend very seamlessly. So that is impressive, that you really only need to blend these for like 2 seconds, like maximum, really. And then, what do I want to do? I'm gonna take the shade Silhouette, this deep dark brown right here. And I just kind of want to really like smoke out the outer lash line. And one thing that I was a bit impressed with is that this brush that I'm using isn't the best brush. But these shadows are still working with it more than some other shadows. But I really just want to use this to deepen that outer corner. Okay, so this one is giving me a little bit more trouble with blending. And for $70, I don't want any of them to give me a problem with blending, you know? Like I don't want to... I understand that it's a darker color and darker colors are harder to formulate, but for $70. So like right there, it's like not blending as much. That's what I'm trying to work on. Which is a teensy bit frustrating. Trying to use a lighter hand just to have it blend better, but for $70 I shouldn't have to make adjustments to my makeup. Okay, one of the things that I will say is, you know how I will like take the first brush that I used and just with nothing else on it, go over everything to make sure everything is blended together. I don't feel the need to do that with these shadows. I feel like my eyeshadow is already perfectly blended without me going in and doing that. So that's impressive. I will give it that. The shadows all blend very seamlessly into each other. So that is impressive actually. I'm here for it. And then I want to take this shade Delilah right here and put that all over the lid. It's like this nice silver that looks like it has like some maybe purple undertones to it. So I'm just gonna pick that up on my finger. Oh, that's very soft. Like a very, very soft. Oh, that swatch is a bit darker. Wait, that actually, how's it gonna show up? Oh, that is not at all what I thought that shadow was gonna look like. I haven't swatched them yet. I'm doing the swatches after. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm glad I didn't put that on. That's not at all what I wanted. It's stunning. It reminds me a lot of Wet n Wild Nutty, if you guys know that eyeshadow. That's like immediately like the silver with red undertones. That's instantly what it gives off for that shade. That is not at all what it looks like in the pan. This shadow is this shadow. That is not what I expected. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually quite disappointed in the shimmers in this palette. Not because they're not pretty. They're very pretty, but because they all have like, they all look pretty cool toned in the palette, but they all have like a red base to them, which is not what I bought this palette for. I bought it for the cool tones. But now everything is warm and I'm just confused because that's not at all what I wanted. Also, when I was swatching some of them, especially the shade Muse, the shadow was like bouncing around in the palette. Like it wasn't securely in there. I don't know what to do now because I wanted like a cool tone shimmer and these are all warm, but they all look cool in the palette. All the shimmers look cool toned, like cool toned to like neutral browns. And they all have a red base to them. So I'm very, very disappointed. That's actually really upsetting. Because that is not at all what I wanted. So if you were gonna get this because you thought it was gonna be like a neutral cool tone palette, it's not actually. It's actually just not that. Which is so upsetting. And they don't even feel like, when I was watching them, they don't feel super creamy and nice. Like they look pretty, but they're nothing special. Like they really don't look like anything special. They just kind of look like a shimmer. This one has like almost like a wet effect to it. That's the shade Muse right there. But other than that one, the rest of them are all just like regular shimmers that you can find in like any other eyeshadow palette. I'm so disappointed. This is not, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so I am super disappointed because that is the whole reason I bought this palette, is because I thought it was gonna have neutral, cool toned colors in it. And I knew that there were like the two like rosy pinks in there and those were gonna show up a little bit warm on me, and I was like, that's fine. Everything else looked very cool toned. They're not. And I'm actually gonna return this. Like, I'm not even joking. I'm so upset I'm gonna actually return this because it's not what I wanted. It's not what I thought it was going to be. It's not what it even looks like. That's not how it... The quality of the mattes is really good. I will give them that. The quality of the matte shadows are very good. This is not... But it's just not what I thought I was getting, because the way that they swatch and show up on the face is very, very different from the way that they are in the pan. So yeah, it was already an absurd price tag. It's plastic, and now that the shadows aren't even showing up the same way that they do, this isn't what I thought I was getting. It's not worth it. It's not worth $70. For blendable eyeshadows, it's not worth $70. You can find a blendable eyeshadow from ColourPop, from e.l.f. You can find a blendable eyeshadow anywhere. This is not worth $70. It's just not. I guess we'll finish the look somehow. You know what I'm just gonna do? I'm just gonna highlight the like inner corners and stuff with the pink shade, Mia. I'm just gonna pick that up on a brush. It's very pretty and sparkly. That's the inner corner highlight, if you can see it. It's very pretty, pink, sparkly. And one of the things that I'm noticing is because you can pop these out, the pan does like kind of pop out when you are applying, like when you're putting like your brush into it, like the pan will move around. For $70, I don't want my pan moving around. I was so excited. Like I was like, it's plastic, whatever, $70. I got it as a birthday present because I got cash for my birthday. So this is what I bought with it. I'm so let down. Like genuinely, I feel like I was lied to somehow about what these shades were. Because I wanted a cool tone on the eyes, and we don't have any of those. So, and I'm not gonna keep the palette for like the three, for like the shades that I like, the mattes. Less than half of this palette is matte. I'm not gonna keep it for the matte shades because it looks so cool toned. Look at it, it looks so cool toned, but they all have a red base to them, so they're all right. Let's just put on some mascara. I'll give you guys a finished look. Oh, this is so disappointing. So short answer and long answer, no, it's not worth $70. Not worth $70 in the slightest. If you were looking for a neutral cool tone palette, this is not it at all. So I will be going to the store and returning this today. I'm so upset. I was so excited for this. I'm so let down. All right, well, thank you for watching. I don't think that you need this palette, especially if you looked at it and you thought it was gonna be like neutral cool tones and it was gonna be like really nice. The quality is good, the quality is there. They are high quality eyeshadows, but this palette is actually not a cool tone palette. It looks so cool toned, but it's not. Yeah, I can't recommend it if that's what you're looking for. If you want warm tone shimmers, absolutely this palette is for you. And you can afford it. But like for $70, for a plastic package, a dirty plastic package, it smells like chlorine, and for colors that do not perform in the shades that they are advertised to be, No, it's not worth $70. I hope this was helpful. All right, bye. That is not at all what it looks like in the pan.